What's up, guys? My name's Cody, and this is another UFC post-fight breakdown, this time for UFC 281, and we had one of the best cards I've ever seen, best card of the year, hands down. Before we get into it, make sure you leave a like on the video, leave a comment, let me know what your favorite fight on the card was. If you're happy Alex is the new champ, if you're happy Zhang is the new champ, just give me your thoughts on the card, and let me know if you think it was the best card of this year and the best of all time. Is it up there? Is it in the conversation at least? Because I think, man, that you don't see cards that live up to the expectations as much as this one did. But real quick, we're gonna mostly spend most of our time at the top of the card. But I wanted to say, Carlos Oberg looked good, man. We knew he was gonna be the better striker. Wasn't surprised at all to see him catch him, to see him put him out. I mean, we knew in the first round Oberg's super dangerous. He can start to get a little, accepting of the decision and just kind of point fight after that. But he did what he had to do. Went in there, got it done. Wasn't surprised to see it. Started the night 1-0 in the picks. Didn't have a bet on that fight, though. Next fight, we had Montel Jackson taking on Julio Arce. Picked Montel, didn't want to bet the minus 200. And yeah, I mean, it was competitive. It was a good fight. In that first round, I was like, I'm glad I didn't bet. I still think Montel's going to win, but this is sweaty enough to not be betting minus 200. He did win, 2-0 in the picks, but, no bet so far. First bet of the night, and, Mike Trizano missed weight, but, I didn't get the overall impression that he didn't try. I at least, it seemed like it was a genuine mistake. I don't think it's something that's happened to him before in the past. It might have been the first time, so I give him a bit of a pass. Kind of interesting, spoiler alert, that both guys who missed weight got a KO in their fight. But, regardless, Mike Trizano fights Sung Woo Choi, and man, we knew it was going to be a close fight. I had Choi, and yeah, we lost this one. So started the night 0-1 on the bets, and it played out similar to how I thought it would. Just kickboxing match. But Sung Woo Choi he gets a little too wild, man. He was getting so wild in there. He has the skills to fight better than that, but just can't be getting that reckless against a solid striker like Trizano. Then we moved on to the next one. Didn't have a bet in this one. Karolina Kowalkiewicz taking on Silvana Gomez Juarez. Knew it was going to be close. We edged to Silvana, but Karolina got it done. Not surprised, we knew it was a good chance it could happen. Never betting low-level women's MMA like that. No disrespect at all. But a good win. Hey, happy for Karolina. I'm a big fan of hers, honestly. But, Silvana, she's got some serious holes in her game, and even the power that night, like even when she was hitting Karolina, she took it pretty well. And Karolina, she did a pretty good job. A good win, and good to see her get 2 in a row. Next up, though, we had a great fight. This is where the card really started. The beginning was good too. That Karolina fight was really the only meh fight on the entire card for me. But we had Matt Favola and Ottoman Azatar got back on the truck there. On the horse, because we had Favola straight, plus 125, I believe. Yep. And he did catch him in that first round. Knew that was a chance for that. I thought about playing, fight ends in a KO attached to Favola, but didn't end up doing that. So I was happy with that. Favola did what I thought he would. Looks good. Lightweight division is full of killers, but hey. Dude has the skills. If he can just, use his fight IQ a little bit better, he's looked better lately now. Yeah, he was kind of scrapping when he gets the KO, but, he was the one throwing the more technical shots, and it looked like he saw an opening and just took it. So, I don't think he needed to wrestle. I think he would have, though, if he needed to, but we're going to have to see against tougher matchups. But Azatar did get his first loss. Dude's got big power, but just needs to round out his skill set a little bit more, or, add something, because against a guy like Favola, he's got too many tools. Next up, though, we had Wellington Turman taking on Petrosky. I did have a little flyer, plus 550 Turman by sub. we picked Petroski, and he got it done. I figured he'd be able to get the takedowns. I figured he'd be able to get on top. I just was hoping, plus 550, get caught up in something. Hey, he looked good. Happy for the guy. Good win. I swear, he looks tired half the fight and manages to just fight through it the whole time. And, good win, man, honestly. Petroski, if he can just, you want to say, work on that cardio, but, he pushes through, man. He gets people in my chat were like, oh, man, he's gassed. I'm like, man, he looks like this every fight, and he pushes through. I was pretty sure Turman wasn't going to get that sub after about a round and a half. But regardless, good win by Petroski. And then, next up, I got to take a rip for Molly because I don't know what she did to piss off the UFC, but cheers. It's so weird because they would try to build her. She's got the barstool connection. One of the more popular female fighters. And they give her a girl who... the UFC... I'm telling you, people are like, no, it's just a game. No, dude. They know what they're doing when they make these matchups. They don't just say, do, whatever happens, let the best woman win. No, they're like, all right, girl with a big name, girl with a not big name, but is a not only just further along, better fighter, straight up, no disrespect, but is a terrible stylistic matchup. We've seen Molly get taken down by girls half the wrestler with half the jiu-jitsu as Erin Blanchfield. They knew what this was going to do. They were like, all right, we got to bring her down a little. She's asking for a little too much. Something happened. I don't know what it was. Even when they asked Dana, this was confirmation for me. They asked Dana White after the fight, oh, what'd you think about Erin Blanchfield's big win? Didn't say one word about her. You know what he says? Not a good one for Molly. Not a good one for Molly. Just wants it to be the headline. Like Dana White, comments over Molly McCann. I'm telling you, she pissed somebody off. Or the UFC wanted to bring her down a peg, and they did that. We picked Blanchfield. Didn't take a rocket scientist to pick that one. Continue on. Next up, we had Dom Reyes and Ryan Spann. And, man, it's so tough because Dominic Reyes, man, this guy is a lot of people thought he beat the champ, John Jones. Not just the champ, but arguably the GOAT. And it's if his claim to not be the GOAT is because he's taking performance enhancers. So, but that aside, he's the best fighter, cheaters included, that's ever fought. And, so arguably beat him. You can say what you want to say. 3 rounds of 2 either way, I'm cool with. But you got it's crazy because on paper it's so terrible, and I do think at this point it's tough. I don't know what it is. If you just can't take punches the same, it's taking too much punishment. I don't know what it is, man. It's so crazy. This sport is insane. But, he fights the GOAT. Then he fights the next champ, who also is a huge knockout artist. Then he fights the next champ, who's also a huge knockout artist. And now, it's a step down. He's still a huge knockout artist who is, looking good and has momentum in himself. It's just crazy because on paper it's oh man, people are like, oh, he's washed. And I guess I get it if by washed, which is so disrespectful, you mean there's been regression, yes. But it's just, you gotta look at the fights for what they are. And this one was bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. This one was bad. I know on paper it's especially bad because it says jab, but it's dude, Ryan Spann's a big boy, man. That is a big, athletic, hard-hitting dude. And I don't know what it is. I think there is maybe some durability questions. I think there is, some confidence, some just when you get knocked out like that, especially after it happens a couple of times, it just changes you, man, mentally and physically. So, tough to see Dom go out like that, man. I don't know what's next for him. I hope that if he does get another fight in the UFC, it's with, a grappler. Not another big knockout artist, man. And then we see if he's got something left. I know 4 fights in a row is tough, but I think you could keep the guy. You could keep Sam Alvey for 8. No disrespect, love Sam Alvey, but give this guy. I mean, he fought John Jones and then 2 champs. He fought 3 out of 4 of dudes being a champ, and the other dude is a guy who, if he beats you, it's probably in the first round. So it looks worse than it is, but it's still not great. Next up, we had Renato Moicano. We had him straight. Moicano minus 120, and cash that, baby. Money, Moicano want money. One of the greatest post-fight interviews. It was great. Probably could have cost a little less, so it could have been played more on, since it wasn't main card. But, it was playing on my ESPN, so I don't know how that works. But, he looked good, man. I mean, we knew the club and sub was an option. I was really torn between that and knocking him out. That's why I just played him straight. His jiu-jitsu's high level. He was clipping Brad. It's tough for Brad, man, because he's very skilled, but I think he's just taking too much punishment, man. And again, you don't know if it's mental more than physical, but he just doesn't seem the same. I picked Renato. We cashed. Respect to Brad, though. Still a great fighter. And now we head into the main card. Dan Hooker. But first, though, Renato, give him a big fight, man. He fought RDA 5 rounds on 4 days' notice. He's cracking these good promos. He's looking great, getting better. He's still young. Let's get him a good fight, man. At 155, let's give him someone good. Hold up. I know we don't typically do this, but... oh my God, I can't type. I'm sorry. Let's pull... Oh, well, the rankings come out tomorrow. But, I wonder if he's going to get a spot. I mean, he deserves that 15 spot over Grant Dawson, honestly. Grant came in, missed weight, and then, I got Moicano easy over Grant Dawson, honestly. I won't say easy, but I got him for sure. Even, honestly, they wouldn't do this. T-Ferg is my favorite fighter of all time. Y'all know this, but, I don't think that'd be a great match for Tony if he fought Moicano. I don't know if maybe Connor could clip him, but I'd be down for Moicano, Grant Dawson, let him fight for the 15 spot. Even though he just stepped in and fought RDA, and that fight didn't go good, and this division is stacked, but still, I'd be down to see him fight like an Ismagulov. Dan Hooker is gonna get a step up after this big win since he's a name too. Moicano want money, let him fight Connor. No, they won't do that, but. Moicano, Tony, Moicano, Grant Dawson. I don't want to see him versus Tony as a lover of Tony, but, Moicano's a beast. I hope he gets a big fight. Speaking of Dan Hooker, though, man, he did what I thought he would do. I had him minus 145, cashed, did what I thought he would do. Claudio, great jiu-jitsu, just doesn't have the wrestling. Couldn't get him down. He had a couple decent attempts on the leg locks, but he couldn't make anything really happen. There was a couple sketchy moments for sure, but Dan just beat the shit out of him. It got pretty bad. He's a beast, man. Dan Hooker's good. That's why, again, like I said, you got to put losses and wins into context. The only 2 times they give him a step down, he's outclassed them. Yes, it was a decision, but he literally beat Nasrat pillar to post. And Nasrat's not bad. Claudio's not bad. But, they're not Arnold Allen, Islam Makhachev. Arnold could be getting the next title shot, and that was at a weight class Dan shouldn't have been at. Islam's the champ and pound for pound number 2. Michael Chandler, probably the hardest hitting dude in the division as far as one punch power. And it was in the first round where he's the scariest and, got clipped. And he's still a top 5 guy. Dustin, who, freaking on any given, he's right, beat anybody who's not Islam right now in the division. Dude, this guy's fighting killers, man. Did what I thought he would do, put a beating on Claudio. Great win. Glad to see him get it back. But then that happiness turned right to sadness because I didn't bet it, but I did. I was rooting for my heart. I had to pick with my heart. I'm picking with my heart when if I pick an underdog who's plus 200, there's no reason to not be betting that. Like, if you truly think a guy's going to win, it's plus 200, you would bet that. But I couldn't put my money behind it. But I was really, really wanting to see Frankie get one back, especially Madison Square Garden. One of the good guys. We could go on and on. Lightweight champion, and he's smaller than these bantamweights at 135. Like, he's like a flyweight. I mean, he'd be a big flyweight. He's a small bantamweight. It's just crazy, man. I mean, respect to him. He's a legend. And I get Gutierrez, man. He was going through a lot. Like, he's in a tough position because, it's like a lose, slight less lose. I won't say lose, a win. Or, it's still a win, but it's just like, nobody's happy for you. We're all just upset about Frankie. Like, nobody but your family and your teammates are rooting for you in that fight. It's nothing against you. The dude's got hella momentum. I mean, look at this. I mean, he had that draw against Cody Durden, but he's yet to lose since Honey Barcelos and Barcelos in 2018. Like, yeah, and that was Ultimate Fighter finale, so that's not even that doesn't even count as pro record, right? I mean, yeah, that doesn't. Wait, hold up. They typically don't, but since it's the finale, I think those do. That's right. Whatever. Dude's on a streak. He's technically undefeated in the UFC. And, he's dangerous on the feet, and he caught Frankie, man. And you got to understand Gutierrez, where he's at, He feels like Frankie's handpicked him for an easy fight. They had some sort of exchange, apparently, a long time ago that he didn't like. Who knows? Maybe he just made that up to try to, get some clicks. Who knows? His coach battling a serious disease in the hospital. Like, shout out to Mark Montoya. Yeah, I mean, you got to be happy for him as much as you're sad to see, Frankie get a loss. Next, I was happy for him, but, still sucked to see Frankie do that. Let's get into these final three, insane end to the card. Dustin Poirier and Chandler. You hardly see fights that get hyped up like this actually live up to what they're supposed to be. I mean, the fight was exactly what everybody said it was going to be. These dudes went to absolute war. That first round was one of the best rounds I've ever seen as far as entertainment. Chandler clipped him a couple times. Poirier clipped him. And in the end, it played out a lot like I thought it would. It would turn into a war, and Poirier would just have the more technical boxing. He's just a more technical fighter pretty much everywhere except offensive wrestling, like I said before the fight. Ended up submitting him with a rear naked choke, but it was a combination of the hands, of the damage, of the energy that Chandler uses, and you gotta wonder, dude, can't you just double leg the guy to the ground? Why you gotta pick him up and slam him on his head, or not even on his head, but just on his, trying to slam him. I know it looks cool and it's fun and it looks like it hurt and it doesn't feel good, but that stuff takes energy, and you see it, man. He gets tired, and Dustin was able to take advantage. So I was happy to see Dustin get the win. Chandler, seems like a good guy. I mean, yeah, I get it. There were some dirty fouls in there. Hey, as much as a Dustin fan, you want to be like, come on, man, you're fish hooking him. I get it, but it's like, man, this guy, he's, when you're in the cage, you're fighting, things happen, man. Your favorite fighter, a lot of them have done some fouls. You're in a cage fighting another man who's trying to knock you unconscious in front of your family. Some things are going to happen. Yeah, it is dirty. Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do sometimes in there. Fighting a killer like Dustin. The nose thing is just kind of weird, but whatever. He denied it. It looked pretty blatant, but respect to Chandler. Dustin just a little too good, and Chandler will get a big fight, man. All his fights are so entertaining. He'll be back. Co-main event, though. It was sad to see Carla all week get hated on so much. I mean, I get it. The fight with Rose sucked. She didn't, but it takes two to tango, man. Rose didn't fight either. Neither one of them did. And Carla won at the end of the day. It ain't her fault. I mean, it is. It is. Some of it's her fault. Some of it's Rose's fault. And if you don't like the decision, some of it's the judge's fault. But it ain't, it ain't 100% on her. So y'all better keep that same energy with Rose. And I'm a fan of Rose. I like Rose. But keep that same energy with Rose, too. Don't be not booing her when she fights at her next fight. I mean, I won't say that because I don't like any fighters getting booed. But, it's like at the end of the day, they're literally fighting for our entertainment. Like, if you don't like them, just be quiet. But, keep that same energy, though. That's all I say, like Usman said. But, hey, she's tough, man. She stuck it out. The shots on the feet, there was a big power discrepancy. We knew there would be. There was a speed athleticism advantage. Yeah, Carla stayed, man. It was her toughness that kept her in there as long as she did. It was a mismatch. Like styles make fights. Carla can beat a lot of these girls, man. Y'all love to shit on a girl or a dude when they lose, but I mean, Carla's beating 80% of that female 115-pound division. So, if not more than that. She was the champ for a reason. Were some of the fights close? Were some of the fights boring? Yeah. But she got the win, and you got to respect that at the end of the day. Zhang, though, rightful champ. It is a weird situation where Rose is not only coming off a loss, but coming off, one of the most boring fights of all time. So you don't want to really give her a title shot off that. But she's 2-0 on the champ. So it's weird. You're going to have that Robert Whittaker, Israel Adesanya situation. Well, I guess you don't have that at the moment. Where it's 2-0, but you got to think about the trilogy. I don't know if that's going to happen. Honestly, I'd like to see Rose fight somebody else first. Let's get some new blood. I'd be down for Amanda Lemos. She just beat Marina. Let's get some new blood. Zhang Lemos is going to be crazy. So, I'd be down for that, man. They're just going to friggin' scrap. But, I don't know who I would pick in that. I'd probably lean Zhang, but Lemos is crazy. She's dangerous on the feet. But, man, let's get into what I'm sure a lot of you guys are mostly interested in. And, yeah, it was the craziest, just a cherry on a great night. Not for Izzy losing, just a great fight, man. I mean, I didn't really have feelings about whether... I didn't really have a pick, for who I wanted to see win. I picked Izzy. I leaned Izzy to win, but I didn't. I wasn't rooting for anybody really. I only bet the over 2.5. I knew this was a chance, even when I'm watching with some friends and I'm watching with the chat, and people are saying, "Oh man, easy work." I'm like, I was not responding to that, and I'm like, "Hold on, man, hold on." Have y'all not seen the last time these two fought? It was the last round, and Alex puts him out after losing the fight. Alex is always dangerous, and then not only that, it's not like Izzy was not in danger during the fight. There's a lot of this was two of the best strikers. You could argue the two best strikers in the UFC, and it was crazy seeing Alex would back him up to the cage. And he was using that roundhouse to the body to try to deter Izzy from circling out to the left. And then he either had to stand still and fight fire with fire, or he had to go left into that body kick, which was starting to take a toll. You saw the body work starting to really take a toll in that 5th round. And if he doesn't want to go towards that kick, where's his other option? Oh, the patented left hook. So... they were playing that game for 25 minutes. So as I'm watching that last round, the whole time, not only that, but the whole fight, I'm watching Izzy get backed up to the cage. And every time he goes to the cage, man, there is a percentage chance, out there, the MMA gods are rolling the dice, whether he's going to get knocked out. You don't want to be in that, warning track area, if we're going to give that baseball reference. With Alex Pereira, man, because he's got big kicks, he's got big knees, he's got that patented left hook, he's got a good right hand, and you saw the left hook he ended up catching him with wasn't even his the one he caught him with in the second one, which was that like leaping long left hook. It was like a short and tight, like little, it had like that little angle on it. Just came in right like inside the guard. And that was really the one. Like there was other shots, but every time he backed up against the cage, he was playing Russian roulette, and he catched him with that good shot. I think he came in with like a big long body jab that like to the chest that like brought him in, and then he hits him with that little left hook, that little short left hook. You saw Izzy like his legs and arms like go out, and then Alex caught him with that uppercut as he tried to clinch him, and it kind of just like skimmed his chin up, but it just kind of like knocked him off balance for a couple more shots to land. Some people were saying early stoppage, man. It wasn't, and I get it. Of course, Izzy wants to fight on, and he didn't like argue it crazy, but he said, "Yeah, let me go out of my shield." I respect that. Of course, he's a fighter. Not only a fighter, but a world champion, the second best middleweight of all time, still to this day. Right behind Anderson. And I'm sure there's people out there that want to make the case for number one. I won't argue it. I would say, maybe it's a little bit of recency bias, but being the second best middleweight of all time, that is a huge accomplishment, and he's not done yet. I'm not counting Adesanya out yet. I'm honestly down to see a fourth fight, man. I am. But that wasn't an early stoppage. He was done. And shout out to Mark Goddard. That was a great stoppage. Izzy is still young. He's got plenty of career left. He got starched out that second time, and I promise you, if Mark Goddard wouldn't have stopped that fight, you would have had to see Izzy get knocked out cold. Why do that to him? Why are you going to take a year off his career right there? He's going to have to sit out for a long time. Because that's not going to be the first time, and it's going to be, I'm telling you, like, he still took a lot of damage. He still needs, if I'm him, I'm taking like 9 months. That's why I think they're going to make Alex and Rob, which is going to be weird because then they're probably, I would have to go with Rob in that. It's just styles make fights. If you get, before this fight, I would have thought Brunson or like even Vettori would beat him. At this point, I don't know. He might be able to starch them before they come in, before they can get him down. But Rob, just good distance management. I think he could just like stay safe on the feet long enough to hit a takedown, and I don't think Pereira is getting up. The fact that Izzy was able to control him for an entire round in the third tells me that Rob gets him out of there. And I'm not being a hater, dude. I like Pereira. I was kind of torn because it kind of sucks for Izzy. He fought a great fight. He's a great champion. Again, I'm not counting him out, but it's still, it sucks because it's like, damn, this dude beat you twice. He knocked you out the second time, like your first career knockout. And then he follows you to this other sport. Now, people want to say it's malicious. And they're always the biggest hater of all time. That's funny and they're great memes, but realistically, no. Like, he did take advantage of the story to get him a fast track. Clearly, he deserved it. Clearly, he showed he could do it. But, styles make fights, man. Like, styles make fights, and I think Pereira, he deserves it. He beat Izzy straight up. It was a clean stoppage. It was a good knockout. A vicious knockout. But, I just think some guys, I think at this point he showed that might honestly pick him against like Vettori, and I would pick him against Brunson. I do think they can take him down, but I think he might just be able to starch him before they do that. I think it took somebody as high level striking as Israel to even stay safe as long as he did. But Rob, I'd pick him. So it's tough because now you're 0-3 against the guy for Izzy. But, if he loses the belt to Rob, like, what do you do next? It's a weird situation, but, we'll see if they try to, and even if they do the Hamza. Now, Hamza, he's got to get some middleweight wins, man. We got to be real for a second. He beat a career lightweight, Gilbert Burns, and it was a back and forth fight that, honestly, you could have went the other way with. Holland just doesn't do much for me. And also missing weight by 7.5 pounds. Like, okay, if you want to come with the middleweight because you can't make welter, I'm cool with that. Like, we're all cool with that. We'd love that. But you can't just go right to the title shot. Come on, man. not even, he's a small welterweight. You got to beat some actual middleweight sized dudes before you just go in thinking, oh, I got a stylistic, good fight here. Like, let's relax a little bit. Even Alex Pereira beat a Sean Strickland. Give us a middleweight, Sean Strickland-esque ranked guy. You know, go out and beat us of a Vittori or a Brunson. But you know, a lot of these guys I think are going to be bad matchups for Alex. But he's Israel. You know, if he can grapple him and control him for a round, what are they going to do to him? But you know, in the end, it was a great fight by Israel. I have nothing negative to say about the guy. I hope he, you know, is healthy, comes back good. And even it being technically 3-0, I'd love to see a fourth fight. It was a fun fight. It was a great fight. Yeah, the fourth round wasn't great, but the rest of the fight was great. Just a chess match on the feet. Yeah, man. Congrats to the new champ, Alex Pereira. I did cash the over 2.5. I was glad I didn't pick a side. I do, you know, we talked about Alex Pereira by KO being the good value side, but I ended up taking it. So, that being said, man, it was a great card. Best of the year, in my opinion, is delivered. The entire main card being finishes. The only decisions were that Petrosky fight and the Carolina fight. Oh, wait, and the Montel fight. So 3 out of 14? 11 finishes. And all just really exciting. Great fights. Made some money. We went, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We cashed 5 bets. And we missed 1 full unit bet and then 2 little sprinkles. Ottoman first round KO and Turman by sub. But we cashed Frivola plus 125, Hooker minus 145, Zhang inside the distance, over 2.5 in the main, Dustin, and Moicano minus 120. So good night of betting. Fun fights, super entertaining card, man. Respect. Shout out to the new champ, Alex Pereira. Shout out to the new champ again, Willie Zhang. Shout out to Dustin Poirier getting it done. And, you know, it was just a great card, man. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys made some money. Hope you enjoyed the fights. I will see you guys in a couple days for my prediction next week. It's going to be a fun card. See you guys then. Try to get that out tomorrow. And until then, leave a like on the video, leave a comment, click subscribe, turn your post notifications on. And peace.